we've started off with our strengths. And one of the things our strengths have is the policies and procedures. They're there for us. But also, it's one of our weaknesses as well, because for want of a better word, sometimes they're so inept. By notice of proceedings, we haven't got a final authoritative way of dealing with our tenants. The new rent arrears policy has shown that when we do have the efficient policies there, we can go and take action against them, and that's now beginning to show fruition. So this is something that we might need to take. I think later on we're going to say we might try and formulate some test cases for legal team to take to court, like possibly grass cutting, cluttering of closes. So that's something to think about in the future. With the Safer Communities Hub now down in St Martin's, it's proven a great benefit to the community wardens and the Safer Communities team, that they can contact straight away with the police and we can get a fast response to go out and do visits. It's benefited me locally, but as Dave says in Kinross, there's slight problems there we'll have to work out because he's got quite a distance for them to go. It's the quick way of reporting and info gathering. Again, that's a joint partnership working with them. We've got an early intervention and we fast track complaints to deal with them straight away. And a lot of barriers are removed. Whereas if we went back to the inception of the Safer Communities team, the antisocial investigation team way back in the day, there was long hurdles, hoops we used to jump through to get something done by the team. So this is a great way forward, we believe. Some of the weaknesses that we, again, as I mentioned today, Dave, locally, that depends where you are when you get that action. Sometimes dealing with, I don't know what that.
Sometimes dealing with people that you've covered in different patches and you've never met the people that you're going to visit about antisocial behaviour and you don't know the background to the case.
That's true, yeah, thank you. We also now record in multiple systems, but in the future, hopefully, with the opportunities there's going to be with the system development and the CS module, which Nikki was talking about, that could be a great benefit, that everything's in the one place. Other opportunities is visibility of staff. I myself tend to take the car when I go in. I know I'm lazy, but I've noticed that a couple of our officers at Gordon's still here at Maria, they tend to go out on foot all the time, and it makes you visibly local to our tenants and residents, and they can come and identify problems without having to come to the office. So that's something I might, depend on what the weather's like. Opportunities, we believe that to make a safer community, we want to recognise our good tenants. We don't do anything for our good tenants at the moment. So that's something we're going to look at in the future. And hopefully, one of the things that's maybe further down here is I feel we believe we should be contacting our local businesses like Tesco's, the Co-op, Dobies. I think we should have window boxes for our blocks of flats. I think we should have a block of the month or somebody doing their garden monthly. Reward these people for doing that. Now, I know that they have the funds available to work with the local communities. We just have to go and ask them. And I think if anything comes out of what we're doing here today, we should be making the first steps in contacting those businesses and asking if there's a way we can produce a model that would benefit the tenants in our area. I know they've started it in Dundee, they've started it doing their blocks and trying to reward the best block of the month. Task manager, that ties in with the CS module. Mobile working, handheld devices, I know that has a problem in, again, like Dave's area, some of the outlying areas, but in the new task manager, you can still collate all your stuff and it can get updated at a later time. Block inspections, since we did away with estate management systems many years ago, our blocks now look aesthetically, they look great from the outside. The ones in Hillyland with all the new work that had done to them, but internally they look dreadful. I would encourage some of you, if you're in the area, Hillyland, pop into one of the blocks. They're filthy, and no matter how much we don't have the policies and procedures, notice and proceedings, putting someone on a notice does not make them tidy their closest. Again, that's a test case in legal to bring that forward. We'll maybe discuss that. Using third party and voluntary sector in areas like Dave suggested, we maybe possibly introduce a factoring service to some of our blocks. And that's something we should also be looking at. How it works in with rents, etc. But we do the garden maintenance scheme, it costs £1.50. Maybe we need to introduce a factoring scheme. And then, aesthetically, again, the place would look a lot better. That's the Tesco's Dobies. This is the curriculum for excellence for schools. This is a biggie with me. I think our future tenants are out there in primary school now, and if we don't start engaging with them in primary school, we're going to lose them altogether. I've seen a huge difference in 15, 16 years of being in the council, and I think it's only going one way at the moment, and that's down the way. We've got to take action with our future tenants and they're in the schools. And to that end, this passport for a tenancy, this is something that I think we should be something, some of you have probably heard it before. We go to prenatal classes when you're having children, we should have pre-tenancy classes. That once they can tick the boxes that they know how to clean a close, they now deal with arrears or their finances, maybe half a dozen things. Once they can tick them off when they apply for onto our allocations list, then they're ready to go and come into one of our houses. We should go back to what it used to be 40 years ago. A council house is something that you treasure and you want to succeed to. At the moment, it just becomes a matter of course. They're thrown out by their parents and we give them a house with no training at all. And the impact is, well, it's out there. We can go and see. Pre-tenancy checks, that's again, it's all tied in with that. Also, there was a discussion about when they were on this pre-tenancy checks and passport for tenancies, we have meetings, something like this, that they come along to, and tenants come and speak to them, tell them what like it is being a tenant of the council. So that's something in the future. The threats that we've got is lack of resources, people and money. It's always the problems. The restructuring of the police force in Scotland have meant we don't have any more community policemen. We never see a community policeman. They were dropping in all the time to us in the office. We don't see them now. The business and economic impact to the aesthetic values. I think that if we do use those businesses, it's going to make a huge difference to our communities. Lack of education and awareness to younger people, again, that goes back to the curriculum of excellence, if we started early enough. The expectations of tenants. At the moment, they just apply for a house and they expect one. Let's change the ball game, as it were. Allocation of properties. Again, this is not criticising anyone, but we believe that in our communities we know where people should be housed. And unfortunately, at the moment, they get allocated sometimes the best of properties, and all that does is brings, and I don't know how to put this, but it brings, you get a nice, okay, here I go on my soapbox, we get a nice street. I'll pick one, Strathord Terrace. It's a lovely street, mixture of private and some of ours. And we had an allocation to go into Strathord maybe over a year ago, and it was what I might term a bad tenant. Now, all that would have done would have been to introduce a cancer into that street. We have to think out of the box. Let's do something different. And now, where am I? This is
conscious, Martin.
Yeah, just a quick minute. Yeah. This is the big one. This is antisocial behaviour communities with support. I'll just give you a brief explanation of what they do in the Netherlands. They build more or less breeze block homes, and if you're an antisocial tenant, you're a drug dealer, you're an alcoholic, you've got major issues, that's where you're housed. Should you wish to come out of there, you then have to prove that you're a good tenant, and you can come out of there and then they become a good tenant. If you're quite happy, you can stay there for the rest of your life. And it's something, think outside the box, that's something we've got to do in the future. We've got a whole host of here things, our fire safety, but I'll leave that to you.